What up guys? Welcome to Base Damage, and this week I'm going to be going over the deck that I used for the Spring Fest in Atlanta, Georgia. It was sort of online, as you can tell by the title, and I've made changes to it since then. I wanted to go ahead and mention that at the beginning of the video. So Decklist is coming up in just a second here, and you can look through it and whatnot. Decklist is in the description as well, but as far as the deck profile, we'll be going over that in a second. But I wanted to point out one big change that I felt was necessary to it, and it's for the standby deck where you summon bigger characters sooner with the standby effects and whatnot. You have a little bit of an issue when it comes to stock management, and I say that in a different way than what people are used to. Oftentimes because more often than not your opponent will just ram into the characters, and if you get enough big characters out where you can't encore characters back or pay out the stock quick enough, you'd have Climaxes, extra standby targets and whatnot stuck in your stock. And that's what I had happen in a couple games. So to fix this, I actually changed out the Brainstormers. And before anyone tries to say anything, I fully and totally agree that the better Brainstormers are the search Brainstormers, like the Sleeping Knights Brainstormer, the green one, and the Onstage Asuna, the yellow one from the Ordinal Scale Pack. They are by far the better Climaxes, both the extra effects and whatnot, I guarantee you. Yes, but the standby deck to me does not benefit as well from those as it would from the spammable Brainstormers. I'll explain those when they come out, but I wanted to go ahead and point that out before the beginning of the video, so let us start with the deck profile. Alrighty, so as I have stated before, this is SAO. From Frank, it is dubbed the nickname Gamestop Online because of the little, the standby trigger. Looks like the power symbol from GameStop, so it's whatever. So yeah, it is tricolor. It is red, blue, and a splash of yellow. But oftentimes you don't have to worry about the yellow. It's just the red, blue you have to worry about. Anywho, let's start this off and get this underway. So first off, I had to get the Climax. So to start off, we have the standby Climax combo of the deck, which is 4 copies of Close Call Silica. First off, when she's played, you can check the top card of your deck, and you can either put it back on top of the deck or put it into the waiting room. So it lets you set up for either playing the standby trigger or for the second effect, which is the Climax combo. And that is when the Climax gets played, you can bounce her back to your hand and reveal the top card of your deck. If it is an avatar and net character, you can add that card to your hand, proceed with the standby effect. 2 things. 1, this lets you do the 5 card brainstorm, like how you could with the level 0 reverser Silica, Adventure Together, or some of that. I can't remember what. Gather Materials Silica. That's what it was. And the second effect lets you, 1, it gets her off the field, and you now have an open slot to put in for the standby effect. And she pluses back your hand very easily, and being able to do that multiple turns is very, very nice. So I really like that Climax combo. Next we have 2 copies of Time to Get Serious Kirito. The turn that he's played from hand, he gets 1500 power, and when the battle opponent of him becomes reversed, you can rest one of your other characters and put that character into your backstage. So really cool to be able to have save characters and whatnot, or just be able to get extra attacks off and then move your character's back row. And it becomes a 35. It gets over a lot of stuff. So the first spammable Brainstormer for this, I got two different ones in here, and then another Brainstormer after that. So we have in the Sunlight Forest Sinon. During your opponent's turn, the character in the middle position of your center stage gets 1000 power. Really nice defensive ability there. And pay 1 for the Brainstorm. Pay 1, mill 4. For every Climax, you can search your deck for a Avatar Net character, add it to your hand, and then discard the same number of cards that you added. So you mill 2 Climaxes, search 2 characters, discard 2 cards. Very easy. So Really, really, really good, considering this is the only searching spammable Brainstormer. I'm honestly considering bumping it up. Then we have obligatory Mill Runner is obligatory. Temple Alliance Kirito, when he swings, you can give another Sinon 500 power until 500, yeah. 1,000. I'm sorry, I was wrong. When he swings, you can give another Sinon 1,000 power until end of turn, and then during your opponent's turn, at the beginning of their attack phase, you can mill the top card of your deck, and if it is an Avatar Net character, you can move him to an open position of your center stage. So really good. Mandatory 4 of. The next one is Asuna's Homemade Cooking. If you only have one, if the number of characters you have is only one, or other characters you have is one or less, she gets plus 1,000 power and plus 1 level. So she becomes a 3K, so she's going to get over a lot of stuff. And then she's a level 1, so she's going to get past the reversers, clock bomb, stop bomb, stuff like that. So really easy to get past stuff that your opponent's like, I need you to be level 0 for my effects to go off. Very, very nice. And also a spammable Brainstormer. You're not going to use it that much. You're going to use this one more, obviously, but this is just a backup contingency plan, and I really like having it. You pay 1, mill 4 for every climax. You mill, she gets plus 1,000 power and 1 soul. So it's kind of cool, but like I said, it's more, you realize, oh, I just triggered, you know, my targets, or you just need to be able to mill and get climaxes out, targets out of the stock. It's there at early level. So the last Brainstormer is the Silica's Unyielding Trust, 2 copies of, and it is a pay 1, tap 2 characters, mill the top 4 cards for every climax, you get to salvage a character back. So really Brainstorm heavy, sure, but it's necessary for this deck. So that is, so that's 6, 8, 10, 12, 16 level 0s. Really awesome. Yeah. Get this back. Next to the level 1s, we're going to go to the level 1s with, starting with Silica On Guard. This is your main target for the standby trigger, and I'll go ahead and mention this now with the standby trigger effect. When you play the standby or it gets triggered, the same effect goes off. So whether you trigger it on an attack or you play it for your climax phase, the same effect goes off, and that is you can summon a character from your waiting room with a level equal to or less than your level plus 1. So if you're at level 0 and this is in your waiting room, you can summon this out. If you're at level 1, you can summon a level 2. And they come in as rested, so more often than not, you're going to play them in the back row, which is nice, where you can use the Silica effect, bounce her, you got open space, you're good. So this is your level 1 target for the standby trigger. And her effect is, if the number of your other Avatar Net characters is 2 or more, she gets plus 1,500 power and character encore, essentially with making her a 1-drop 7/5 with character encore, and she can get bigger from there as far as like other effects and whatnot, which is nice. So really cool, and a really nice wall to have for your opponent to try to get over. Vice Commander Asuna, free backup at level 1 and higher. It's 1,000, and then if you have Avatar Net, you give another 1,000, so free 2K backup, which is always nice. 2 copies of. I was messing with 3, but it works better. It works better for this deck at 2. Next is 2 copies of SAO Survivor, Asuna and Kazuto. During your opponent's turn, all your other characters get 1,000 power, which is really nice. So being able to have this as a back row with like this wall already being here just makes these things, it's so good. And then on play, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 card amongst them to your hand, and then you discard a card, make certain, and then you discard a card. So that will let you can play that, look at the top 2, if there's a climax, you want to get your climax combo going off, you can grab that. It helps you also do some good hand filtering, so that's also very nice. And lastly, 4 copies of Determination with a Life on the Line, Kirito, Zay 1045. On play, you have to top check, and if it is an Avatar Net character, he gets plus 2K for the turn. But then when he is sent from the field to the waiting room, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Avatar Net character amongst them to your hand, then discard 1 card. So more hand filtering, more just really, really good being able to go through the decks and fuel your waiting room. So that is 12 level 1s. Next is the level 2s, which is even shorter. So first off, we got Tiffany, the Dicey Cafe Gilbert. 2,500 backup for 1 cost, always good. And then he is the what is called the anti-change of the deck. So when you use his backup, you can pay an additional cost, which, double checking, to stock and discarding an avatar or net character from your hand. And you can choose one of your opponent's characters that has a higher level than their current level. So if they summon a level 3 at level 2, you can send that card to, okay, and make certain I read this right, to the bottom of their deck. So that's really useful. I don't use this a whole bunch anymore, but I like to have it, just really nice. Then 1 copy of Adventure with Everyone's Sinon. On play, you can pay an additional stock and discard a climax to add back a climax from your waiting room to your hand. So being able to get the right one at the right time. And if it attacks a level 3 or higher, she gets plus 1,000 power for every avatar net character that you control. So if you have a full field and you attack level 3, she gets plus 5k. She's a 12-5. That's fucking huge. Yeah. So really awesome, really big. And then 3 copies of your level 2, your level 1 target, I say. It's your level 2, but you can summon this out at level 1 real easy with the standby trigger once again, is Rhapsodic Liz. First off, she gets 1,000 power for every one of your other avatar net characters. So she becomes a 10-5 with a full field. That's amazing. Then during your encore, if all your other at the beginning of your encore step, if there are no other rested characters in your center stage, you can pay 1 stock to encore her. So that's really nice. But it basically means everything else you have has to be reversed somehow, but you pay 1 stock to save to save a potential 10k, which is nice. So, but she is your target at level 1 to summon with the standby effect. So that is 5 level 2s. Then we are on to the level 3s. A little bit more effects here. I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible. First off, 2 copies of Link Strike Sinon. I'm working on a Switch version of the Switch combo version of this deck, but for right now, I'm doing the Link Strike combo. So this is still cool, and this is cheaper than the. This is a cheaper combo than the as far as like getting the cards than the Switch combo, but this is still nice. I like Switch combo more. Anyway, Link Strike Sinon. If the number of avatar net characters you have is 4 or more, she gets -1 level in hand, so she can be played at level 2 very, very easily. The turn that she's played from stage to hand, or when you play from stage to stage from hand, or by the effect of Link Strike Kirito, you can draw a card and she gains 2,000 power until the end of turn. When the other, also her last ability, when the character in your middle center position of your stage attacks, you can pay the cost, which is 1 stock and discarding 2 cards to mill the top 3 cards of your deck. If there's at least 1 climax amongst them, you restand her. So that is really, really awesome. And this goes off quite a bit, actually, strangely enough. So you attack with her, attack with your middle center, use the effect, and you can possibly restand her. Then you have 3 copies of Link Strike Kirito. The turn that when you play him from hand to stage, you can look at the top. You look at the top cards of your deck, equal to the number of avatar net characters you have. Add 1 card amongst them to your hand. So really easy to fish for the climax combo, which is going to be this one, the 1k1 pants trigger, and that is going to be the climax combo for that. Is, I'm sorry, just making certain that I want to word this right. I know how it works. I want to word this correctly. When your other character attacks, if the climax is in play, you may pay the cost, which is 3 stock, discarding 2 cards, and putting this card into your waiting room. If you do, choose a character with Link Strike in its card name, except Link Strike Kirito, and put it on the stage position that this card was on. So what you do, there's Link Strike Sinon, and I'm gonna show you the other 2 targets right now. So you got Link Strike Sinon. The combo lets you summon. You can summon a copy of her if you wanted. You can summon a copy of Link Strike Liz. That on play, she can salvage a avatar net. Yeah. So either from hand to stage, you can salvage an avatar net, or if you get summoned by the Link Strike, you can still do that. So you still add a card to your hand from the waiting room, or a character. You also On the decoration of her attack, you can put 2 cards from your hand to the waiting room and attempt to burn your opponent for 1. So, 1 more target for the Link Strike effects. This is really good. Link Strike Silica. Making certain that I know all this stuff. Okay, if all of your characters are Avatar Net, she gets plus 1500 power, and the effect that during this card's battle, your opponent cannot play backup from hand. So they couldn't drop Tiffany. So it's really cool. But that's all your targets for it, and it works out really well. So I thought I was going to need more targets for it, but strangely enough, you just do not. All right, so then we have... Oh, she has one more effect. I am very sorry. The turn that when she's played from hand to stage or by the effect of Link Strike Kirito, you can heal 1. So really cool. Then you have Full of Vigor Yui. I have not really used a lot of her effects, but they're still really nice. The turn that she has played, or when she is played to stage from hand, she gets 500 power for every one of your other Avatar Net characters. Wait, it might not be other. By the number, so she counts herself, so you can get plus 25. So that's good. On play, you can put 2 cards from your hand to the waiting room. Your opponent picks... your opponent puts all of your opponent's stock into their waiting room, and then they put the same number of cards from their stock into, or from the top of their deck into their stock. And also, during your opponent's turn, if this is in center stage, when damage received to you is not canceled, you look at the top card of your deck and either put it back on top of the deck or send it to the waiting room. So that's really nice. And then lastly is 1 copy of Attack and Waves Asuna. This is really fun to be able to have if you like trigger more standby stuff or whatever. Because then she has two effects that you use. The third effect is the switch combo effect, but that's not in this deck, so I'm just going to state the first 2. First one is she's a assist to the Avatar Net characters in front of her get plus 2,000 power, and the effect that when their battle opponent becomes reversed, I will get the words out of my mouth. When their battle opponent becomes reversed, you can send that character to your opponent's memory. So removal, really nice. And then when she is played to stage from hand, you can search your deck for an Avatar Net character. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 level 3s. And 4 copies of the standby trigger, 4 copies of the pinch trigger, and that is the deck. Much appreciated. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, deck list is going to be in the description. I apologize for my stuttering. And thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want. If not, hey, it's all good. Just thanks for stopping by to check out the video. And please support Weiss Schwarz. It's an awesome game, and I want to see it grow. So, and this is Gamestop Online, signing off. Peace out for now.